Two dudes with attitudes, let's go. It's the two dudes and our attitudes, ruthless, aggressively speaking, so let's do this. We're Ryan and Denton, they here to get your attention. The 5-star broadcast, shit, start to the ending. Whether it's the E or it's all E. The two dudes with the attitudes to bring the heat. Get the point, yeah, it's on, time to lock in. Listen to the podcast where they get it poppin'.
What is going on? Welcome back, or welcome for the first time to Two Dudes with Attitudes, a wrestling podcast. And yes, friends, that is a new intro. So can all you wrestlers in our intro do us a solid? Please do not commit any sex trafficking things or sexual harassment.
Stay with the company.
We don't have to keep checking this video. Yeah, let's just you know what I mean? Let's just.
Yeah, I tried to when I had the person put it together, I was like, okay, who's going to be with WWE for the foreseeable future? So we have Gunther in there now, and then we had Bailey. Of course, Bailey will be there for the long haul. So Io Sky. So yeah, let's have people that are going to stay and not commit any crimes while they're there. Allegedly.
That is true. Let's keep that.
Yeah.
What a crazy world we live in, right? Like whatever you do, just don't commit a crime. It feels like when I go on the news, it seems like it's really, really hard to not commit a crime. But I've lived 43 years without ever doing it, so I'm confused on why it's so hard for some people to not commit a crime. I don't know. To each its own, y'all. To each its own. Yeah. Let's move on from that. We got a busy episode because we are in our WWE edition, and we have a lot of stuff going on, not just what happened all this week, but even today we had a little bit of a fun segment that we delayed ourselves on recording this because we had to watch it, even though I ended up giving up halfway through because I couldn't watch the whole thing. But that's why the producer is here, because he's able to and give us the lowdown. So let's start off with it. What's happening in the world of WWE this week?
So as of today, Thursday, what's today's date? February 8th, 2024 at 2:55 p.m. Tonight is the WWE Wrestlemania 40 press event, which is taking place in Las Vegas. And I think they're just trying to capitalize on the Super Bowl publicity because that's where the Super Bowl is. And The Rock, Roman Reigns, Cody Rhodes are all going to come head to head. Bianca Belair is there for some reason. And Seth Rollins is supposed to be there. CM Punk is allegedly going to be there. He posted on social media that he is in Vegas. So this is going to be a spectacle to enjoy, and I cannot wait for it. It's going to really, there's a lot of animosity in the wrestling community right now because, we have hashtag we want Cody, hashtag we want Rocky. People are going all over the place about what the potential WrestleMania main event will be, and I think we'll get some answers tonight. But earlier today, The Rock, the new member of the board of TKO and the People's Champion, the great one, Dwayne The Rock Johnson, he was on the Pat McAfee Show. And he really, in the grand scheme of things, he really didn't say much. He just kind of said that basically what we've been saying, that he's going to have a legendary, I think he referred to it as a legendary announcement at the press conference tonight.
He's a legendary and didn't say legend. Wait for it. Terry.
Yeah, I know. What's up with
Missed
that?
Opportunity there, The Rock.
Well, we'll say it for him.
Legend. Wait for it. Dairy. Legendary. It's gonna be.
We'll say it again. It's so nice. You got to say it twice sometimes. But
I agree.
Yeah,
I agree.
So The Rock, he says he has a legendary. I think that is the word he used. Announcement,
something like that, or unforgettable, or I don't know. It was something epic.
And it's on. It's at this press event. You also forgot to mention the tribal chief, the Roman Reigns, the GOAT. He's going to be there as well. So acknowledge him.
He's going to be there. No, that's pointless.
Yeah. About time he shows up for work. Part-time champ versus part-time champ.
It's going to be awful.
Yeah. But anyway, The Rock was on and so he has a big announcement at the press event. I think we all kind of know what that announcement is going to be. And then the rest of it was that he has been back in the ring training, and he's been talking about his training regimen and, how does a guy who's already jacked get in shape for wrestling. But he had one message out there for the fans of Cody Rhodes, and I'm going to see if I can get it to work. Let's see.
Let's hear it. It's funny stuff. He was in full heel character Rock. He was Hollywood Rock or regular Rock.
So let's get it. So here he is.
Ultimately, what the fans want and what they're saying. And oftentimes, as you guys know, in sports and entertainment and anywhere, regardless of the vertical of business you're in, there's a wave of noise that happens right out of the gate. Immediately. That you want to just pause for a second. Let's not make any rash decisions.
So he's talking about all the negative publicity he got.
And see what happened there. So it was just a matter of waiting. So now I was not surprised at it. I did expect it. But here's the fun part about this is you have, and by the way, I've known Cody for a long time. He's a buddy of mine. The American Dream, Dusty Rhodes, and my old man, Soul Man, Rocky Johnson, they were boys. They tag teamed together down in Florida. We used to go over to the Rhodes house a lot all the time when I was growing up. And so we're tight in that way. I love Cody. I love his passionate fans.
So we grew up on that though.
Yeah.
So obviously we still use gifts from those days.
It went back?
Shut up, bitch. Is one of the greatest responses of any tweet pretty much that you kind of want to have. Do you miss that? Do you miss getting
technical difficulties?
Character, obviously. Now, you can't do that in real life, what you just did there. You can do it in wrestling though.
Part about this is
they skipped over it.
By the way, I've known Cody for a long
time. They edited it. Yeah.
The American Dream, Dusty Rhodes, and my old man, Soul Man, Rocky.
They didn't do the Cody Crybaby part?
No.
We used to go over to the Rhodes house a lot all the time.
This is from the Pat McAfee YouTube channel or ESPN.
We're tight in that way. I love Cody. I love his passion.
So we grew up on that though.
Yeah.
So
that was 100% cut out
from those days.
Yeah. So never mind. But anyway,
our producer dropped the ball on that, not checking that beforehand.
I know that's my fault. I thought I had it, but anyway, he called all the Cody Rhodes fans Cody Crybabies and cut a pretty heel-like promo, basically saying that every 10 tweets that people put out, they're stuffing the chicken McNugget up in their mouth, and then then there's like, "Hey mom, can I come out and play?" And then while they're tweeting, "Hang on, I got a tweet," So he was.
He also said, "Honey, I can't have sex right now.
Yeah,
I need to go tweet. We want Cody." That was pretty good. That's like straight. He didn't just make fun of fat nerds in the basements or what. He made fun of all people, just so you know, before he starts slamming on the Rock.
Yeah. No, he was in full heel mode, and I loved all of it. And it was. I'm trying to see if I can find the actual clip. Because I feel like we're not doing it justice with how funny it was.
No, because he even did like he did it all. It was really, really good. And the thing is, once again, this shows that all these people who were like, "Oh, this is like pivoting and this and that," which he did a great TikTok on. Go check it out at Ryan Enjoys Wrestling on his TikTok and our two dudes YouTube. But they literally they're not pivoting, man. This was the plan. The Rock ain't backing down because 10,000 people are grumpy about it. And I'm not saying the 500,000 dislikes, those aren't all people who are grumpy about it. I'm talking about the very small minority of people who are out of rage about this. They're not going to change anything. If they go with Cody versus Roman, that's how it always was. If they don't, that's how it always was. They're sticking to their guns and moving with this. No matter what, people are going to tune in and it's going to be a vibe, man. Yeah, and I'm excited for this damn press con. I'm excited more now than ever because now I feel like it's not going to be like a serious, real press conference. I feel like this is going to be a everyone in character scripted press conference, and that's what I want. I don't need Cody. I don't need Punk chewing on bread and yelling at Tony Khan. I don't need drunk Cody Rhodes out here. I don't need people just shooting the ish and praising other wrestlers because they respect. I want a war. I want Cody and Rock and Roman and Seth and people going at it and Drew appearing and Bianca Belair promoting her TV show on Hulu, I'm assuming, but maybe Bailey coming out. I want to see Rhea go hard. I'm ready for this. I think this is going to be a very, very entertaining and probably the best press conference wrestling has ever held.
Yeah. So I actually found the clip. So
Let's do
let
it.
let me just make sure this is it before I play it.
I'll keep talking.
Yeah.
I'll keep talking. So yeah, but anyway, I am excited for it, and I think it's going to be cool. And the Cody crazy fans, the Cody crybabies, as The Rock calls them, they kind of help this make it even more impactful, because I think now people are more interested in it. So you might not have changed the booking, but you definitely got people more invested in this press conference and possibly into WrestleMania and Elimination Chambers. So
Yeah.
good on you for that.
All right, here we go. This is it.
All right.
Here we go.
Passionate fans. Then there's the other passionate fans of Cody.
Yep.
And they're called the what's that? Oh, Cody Crybabies. Yeah. that's what they're
Oh,
called.
all right. Okay, got it. I didn't know the name that was coming.
It was the Cody Crybabies,
Yeah, okay.
and these are grown-ass men. And Cody gotta finish his story.
Yes.
Story right now.
Grown-ass men.
Hold on. Hey, Dad, you want to go outside and play catch with me? Not now. Cody's gonna and I'm upset. Wife comes in. Hey, honey, do you want to go have sex? Not now. Cody's gotta finish his story. At the end of the day, look, you got the Cody crybabies and you have the Cody fans, and you have Cody himself, and there's a clear distinction between the three. But The Rock says this: those Cody crybabies, the ones for every 10 tweets, they're shoving a chicken McNugget in their mouth. For every 20 tweets, they're shoving 2 McNuggets up their ass.
What?
The Rock says this: all you got to sit back, know your role, shut your mouth, and enjoy the ride that The Rock is going to take your candy ass. Cody, I love
Brilliant.
you, man.
And he always talks about shoving things up your ass. So that's not like a new thing. So
No.
don't get it twisted, all you people thinking he's body shaming. But really quick, before you touch on it, the 3 things that I love, there's Cody crybabies, there's Cody fans, and there's Cody Rhodes. And those are 3 different people. And that's exactly what you and I have been saying on TikTok. I've been getting crap for that. That is the thing.
Yeah.
Cody crybabies, Cody fans, and Cody Rhodes himself. And they're all thinking 3 different things. And that is a freaking fact. And that's why the WWE is not changing anything for whatever you think they are changing. So stop with that narrative.
No.
It's not happening.
Yeah. No, I liked everything about it. And it reminded me of my favorite, I think when we did our top 5 heels, this was my number 1 heel of all time. And that's Hollywood Rock from 2003, which I thought was fantastic. And that little promo that he just did on the Pat McAfee show kind of reminded me a little bit of that, and some of the stuff that he was saying, and it was good stuff. But I also feel like he's not talking to all Cody fans. Like you said, he's talking to those Cody crybabies, the ones that were sending, let's not forget, earlier in the week, his daughter got death threats.
100%.
For a storyline that she's not in. So I think he's kind of sending a message to those Cody crybabies. And there's been people out there saying that they're going to bomb WrestleMania. And there's people out there wishing that Roman's cancer comes back and that The Rock pulls a hammy or pulls a quad in this match to show that it never should have happened in the first place. I really think that's more of who he was talking to, more so than I want to see Cody finish his story. I mean, it was still really funny stuff. And, but yeah, I think that was his message was to like know your role, shut your mouth, and let's enjoy the ride. I think that's more for everybody. But I think the Cody crybabies and play catch with my dad, that's more towards those people that were sending death threats to his daughter. So they fired the first shot, and The Rock just fired back, and now hashtag Cody Crybabies is trending on X. So
it is.
We'll see how long it lasts. But yeah, right now
I better get on it.
Yeah, we got to go on there and tweet.
Sorry, honey, no sex for you tonight.
Yeah.
I don't have a honey. I'm single as it can come.
Yeah.
Anyway, all right. The Rock was talking to me.
Yeah.
I'm the guy in the basement shoving nuggets up his butt. Okay, so, but with that said, I also want to throw out a disclaimer that here on Two Dudes with Attitudes, a wrestling podcast, the greatest podcast that is not known yet, I would like to say that I gotta get that on a shirt, that we do not condone violence on anyone, even if you are a part of the storyline. Because we keep saying, and that's what a lot of people are saying, like, oh, Ava Reigns wasn't part of the storyline. Oh, Roman doesn't really have anything to do with it. It doesn't matter if you have something to do with it. We never, ever, ever condone violence. This is are you going to send death threats to the guy on Game of Thrones? Are you going to throw death threats on Chandler on Friends because he broke up with Monica? Although they didn't, but if they did, no. Yeah, rest in peace, my man. Rest in peace. Like that, but I'm just getting to the point that you're not, this is entertainment. Grow the F up. All right. You ready for tonight? We're gonna do a thing just so you know, tomorrow we will have a response.
We're gonna do a special episode.
We're not gonna do a live one. It's 4:00. That's a weird time, but we will be posting something about it. And I am gonna try to talk Ryan into doing a watch along again for Elimination Chamber.
Oh,
so
I'm down. I'm all in.
I will be 2 a.m. up and ready. I'm gonna do it. So yes.
And I'm excited for tonight. I think these hashtag Cody Crybabies, which by the way, The Rock is actually getting bashed by those same Cody Crybabies on X. Oh, he was out of breath just cutting that promo. Oh. I'm like, you're going to compare yourself to The Rock? Like, seriously? But anyway, I think several of these people are going to owe the WWE, The Rock, Cody Rhodes, Roman Reigns, Triple H, Nick Khan, everybody. I think they're going to owe them a big apology because I think the WWE has been playing them like a fiddle all week long. And whether we get Cody Rhodes, Roman Reigns 2 at Mania, or The Rock versus Roman at Mania, just sit back and enjoy it. And it's going to be so much fun.
And you're going to get Cody versus Roman for the title anyway. Also, one thing I've learned about wrestling this week, when we talk about the Dave Meltzers, the Sean Ross Sapps, and people who are creating wrestling content, there's one thing I've learned about them. They refuse to apologize.
Oh, no.
They'll always come up with an excuse. So we will not get that moving forward. But it is what it is because we don't care anyway. And now let's go ahead.
Yeah, we'll wrap up on this. But you think they're mad now? I texted you this the other day, but we could theoretically live in a world where we get The Rock versus Roman Reigns. So one of them has the Universal Championship. Jey Uso could hold the Intercontinental Championship. Ava Raine is running NXT, and Nia Jax could theoretically win the WWE Women's World Championship. So you think like, The Rock's using his political stroke? I mean, he's got his whole family. I mean, not that storyline's been going on for 4 years or anything, but he's got his whole family winning belts. It's just stop. Everybody just calm down and enjoy the show because it's going to be fantastic.
Oh my gosh. And if we had time, I can go into everything because I heard some bogus stuff on 83 Weeks with Conrad Thompson, who I used to respect and thought was a genius. Now I think he's just another nobody who doesn't know what the hell he's talking about. You heard it here first, but he was yapping about how like, this is like, Eric, do you think this goes back to with like Triple H and The Rock not liking each other? Because Bret Hart once had a segment because Bret Hart always tells the truth and said that how like Triple H and The Rock didn't like each other. So now I think that's why it's all happening because he's trying to take over Triple H. I'm like, holy, and I am, you can be a conspiracy theorist all you want, but when it comes from like people that I think have like legit minds.
Yeah.
Like Dave LaGreca, I wasn't surprised. That's him. That's his character. He's emotional. He wears it on his sleeve. It's hilarious. He's going to scream and holler. More power to him. But Conrad was supposed to be someone who like had common sense in his head. And he just has shown me that he does not have that. And it's crazy how he's like, well, it's a little in my sleeve because I know Cody. Okay, bro. So, and you know wrestling. You're literally Ric Flair's father and like son-in-law. You should know that it's scripted and they're not holding like. Anyway, let's get to the week in review. You ready?
Yeah. So we'll start with SmackDown.
What seems like 70 years ago now.
Yeah.
Holy cow. Let's get into the SmackDown 60 seconds or less review. Are you ready? Let's do it. That was my awful Triple H. All right. The show opens up. What's up?
I was just doing the DX.
Boom, boom. All right, the show opens up with the Logan Paul promo. He mocks all these injured wrestlers and how he goes no matter what. KO interrupts and wants a rematch, but Logan says he is one and done, just like me, baby. Kevin Owens then defeats Austin Theory. Naomi has officially signed with SmackDown, but so has Tiffany Stratton. Yeah. Bianca Belair wants a title shot because I guess, whatever. Tyler Bate and Pete Dunne win a 4-way to advance to a match to determine who a number one contender might be. Damage Control is in the back talking mess about Bayley, who hears it all. Thus, they come all to the ring, and Bayley tells them she actually speaks Japanese in a super cool moment and knows everything. She puts the beat down on the whole crew, and she is challenging Io Sky for the title at WrestleMania. The Final Testament and Bobby Lashley Street Profits don't have a match. Braun Breaker will decide if he signs at Raw or SmackDown. Jade Cargill looks like she's signing with SmackDown. Stratton defeats Mitchin. Roman Reigns cuts a promo on how great he is and how Seth is not that dude. Out comes Cody Rhodes to announce he will not challenge Roman at Mania because of this man. And if you smell what The Rock is cooking, he comes out, stares down Roman to close out the show, and the wrestling world explodes.
Lost its mind.
And that's the 60 seconds or less SmackDown recap. And I don't think we have to go into Cody and Roman at all. We already had a whole podcast on that.
Yeah.
So what'd you like from this otherwise? There was some. This was a poppin' show, by the way.
Yeah, it
Best
was
SmackDown
probably,
I've seen.
Yeah, best SmackDown I've seen in a long time, for sure. Let's talk about Bayley, because I feel like what all the negativity from the Rock segment, we kind of forgot about how great the Bayley moment was, where she finally chose her opponent for WrestleMania after winning the Women's Royal Rumble, and they invited Rhea Ripley to SmackDown. She's watching backstage. She showed up there with no makeup on, and she looks great without makeup. She looks beautiful with it. Looks beautiful without it.
She's better without, for reals. That's
Yeah.
a fact. Yeah.
No, yeah, she's just a beautiful woman in general. But yeah, she shows up. She's rolling her suitcase in. I like it when they do that. And yeah, Bayley. Damage Control the Kabuki Warriors are backstage with Io Sky, and they're talking, and they're all speaking in Japanese. And then this was the one part of this segment that kind of bugged me, was they're all speaking in Japanese, and then Io Sky randomly speaks English and says it's over for Bayley tonight, or it ends tonight for Bayley, or something along.
Okay, yeah.
And then Bayley showing up there. So that was, I wish they wouldn't have done that, because to me that made it, I was like, okay, well, obviously
she speaks it. What?
Yeah. Not so much that she speaks it,
Oh,
but just more like obvious, like, because she heard her speak, she heard her say it in English that Bayley is done tonight. And Bayley, they show Bayley in the camera, and she looks like she looks really disappointed and upset. I wish they wouldn't have done that whole segment.
Okay.
Just because to me that made it obvious who she was choosing. Like they kind of telegraphed it. Like, okay, she clearly heard that, and like, let's make it a surprise. Come out and if I feel like the segment would have been, I would have liked it better if she came out. And it was a great segment. No, don't get me wrong. It was fantastic. All of it was great. But imagine if she came out and just started speaking Japanese and was like, oh, snap. And then she's like, yeah, I've heard what you guys have been saying to me behind my back.
Yeah.
And then she chooses Io. I feel like you would have gotten, I don't know. I think it would have gone over just the same probably. But to me, it just kind of gave it away that that's who she's choosing before they even announced it. They kind of telegraphed it a little bit. That was the only thing I didn't like. But everything else, I loved it. The passionate promo. Bayley's a babyface now. I hope they don't go back to the hugger gimmick. I hope they just keep her as
that's what everybody wants.
Yeah.
They're gonna do a movement.
I hope they do her hashtag we want the hugger. But yeah, I like the moment where Bayley's getting beaten down and she finds the lead pipe, and then she's holding the pipe up, and Io Sky's got her title up, and then she says, I'll see you at WrestleMania. Segment ends. There's so many ways that they can go with this because of you have the Dakota Kai factor. Which side is she going to be on? Is she going to choose to be with Bayley? Is she going to choose Io Sky? So there's so many different avenues and twists and turns that this thing can take, and I'm excited for it. And to me, I think that match, sorry, Cody, but I think that match should main event night one of WrestleMania, because I think it's been a great story that's been unfolding right before our eyes over the last few months.
Made a whole TikTok on that. I think it should as well. But so let me ask you this. So I get what you're saying. I like your approach. They shouldn't have had that backstage promo, but you don't think that backstage promo did like a little bit of you needed some sympathy for Bayley? Because I think as the WWE, they don't go off this 10,000 hardcore fans who are,
that's true,
fully invested. But there's a lot of people who probably would have saw that turn and been like, I don't get it. Why did Bayley? So I did like the touch. It was like kind of like a, what it reminded me of? I'm going to age myself, but like a Full House moment, to where I don't know, DJ and a friend is talking about Stephanie and making fun of her. And then you pan to the hallway, and there's Stephanie hiding behind the wall, like the door or whatever up against the wall, hearing that, and a tear goes down her face, and it leads to more. It was kind of like that heartwarming, Bayley. We all saw this coming, but in story, Bayley didn't. So her seeing that was kind of like the tear moment, and then it led to that. So I get where you're coming from, but I did like it. But nonetheless, whatever way you're going, the end result is
It was
Bailey
fantastic.
deserves this.
Yeah.
And it's super upsetting about this fake Cody movement was the fact that it took away from things like this. This is like when Will Smith slapped Chris Rock at the Academy Awards, and nobody can name one person who won an Academy Award that night because that's all
Will
you think
Smith.
about it. Yeah, well, yeah. Well, he don't have to cuss on his raps to sell records. So yeah, but yeah, that's all you remember, right? The fact that he got it was a freaking disgrace. But anyway,
yeah,
that's what I'm saying. It like
Yeah,
took away.
100%.
This is like CM Punk after his like, who remembers that pay-per-view and who won at that pay? You don't remember anything but that press conference and this stupid Cody movement. And I'm gonna do quotes again. If you're listening on the radio, it's a radio. How old am I? But anyway, but I just feel like it did take away from that. And we should have been more talking about Bailey than we should have anything else, because that moment was huge. It was needed. And the fact that you think about, out of all the 4 horsewomen, that Bailey is the only one who hasn't like main evented a WrestleMania or had a big moment like that is pretty disgusting. And that's why I think she should headline night 1, no matter what Cody decides. But let's talk about some other things, because it wasn't just that. This SmackDown episode was popping, man. We got the signing of Naomi. We got the signing of Tiffany freaking Stratton. We got the signing of possibly Braun Breaker, of possibly Jade Cargill. I mean, this episode was moving, and we got the evolution of an amazing, possibly now with Dirty Dom becoming a comedy act, the biggest heel in WWE in Logan Paul.
Yeah.
I mean, this dude is his promo of him mocking everybody. Oh, my ankle. Oh, my knee. Oh, my
tricep.
Yeah. He's like, I wrestle no matter what. I'll fight no matter what. Everyone gets injured.
You better not get hurt though.
Dude,
that's
that. As soon as he said that, I was like, looking at me like, dude, you're about to get struck by lightning, bro. You gotta like, don't tempt the gods. I know it's scripted, but this dude is so over. And the fact that Kevin Owens came out after getting his butt whipped and he was like, yo, I want a rematch. He was like, one and done. Get out of my ring. I flippin' love it. This man has been doing this for 1 year. Just think about that. And it's not like he was training, not like he was in, old other wrestling organizations building his way up and you didn't notice him, or he has a father who trained him secretly in a dungeon. This dude came off the streets of YouTube and is literally this flipping good. Respect this man. I'm sick of the disrespect. I don't care what he did in the past. I know he wasn't the greatest human being, but he's apologized and paid for that. This man is doing his damn thing and doing it better than 70% of the wrestlers in this world. I'm talking AEW, New Japan, anywhere you want to say. He's doing it better than 70% of these dudes. This dude is killing it.
He's awesome. Yeah, and I think you're right. He might be the best heel in wrestling right now, because he can get a crowd reaction better than anybody, a negative crowd reaction better than anybody, and he's such a good troll. And it's just it's the little things that make me like Logan Paul. I don't know if you saw I don't know if this aired on WWE exclusive or WWE.com, but he was walking backstage and he bumped into the referee that disqualified KO.
Yeah, that was like a backstage thing. That was good stuff.
And he was like, he handed him his US title and was like, oh my gosh, like you're like a hero to me. It was so funny. And then he was like, actually, I need my title back. It looks better on me anyway. But like, it was just so fantastic that he like walked up to the referee, and the referee didn't even, he was like, wait, what are you talking about? It was good stuff. It was, and that's
even
the kind of
Bianca's part, even his Bianca segment was good with him like interrupting her, but praising her. No, I love your show. It's so great. It's so great. But anyway, I need the blah, blah, blah.
Yeah.
But yeah, your show's cool. I'm a big fan. Like, he's just such a troll. Like you said, that's what he is. His gimmick is a troll.
Yeah, and so I'm loving me some Logan Paul, and I hope he hangs on to that US title. And I'm curious to see, because apparently tomorrow night on SmackDown they're gonna Nick Aldis is gonna pick his next opponent. So makes me wonder. I have a feeling it's gonna be like Montez Ford after that Bianca interaction, and then maybe he fights LA Knight at WrestleMania, but I don't know, but I am curious to see
again
where he goes.
Gotta be KO again, because he's facing LA Knight at Mania. If LA Knight's still a wrestler,
like that was the other thing too. Is no LA Knight, no Randy Orton, no AJ Styles on this jam-packed episode of SmackDown.
They didn't have time for that. This SmackDown, is going to be even more insane, bro. Because I think everyone's going to be on it from the press conference, and
I know
stuff's going to be. Cody's going to be. I mean, this is going to. I'm telling you,
it's gonna be a big one.
And talk about trolling. Don't forget, Logan Paul did the hashtag We Want Cody, and people bought into it. Like, oh, see, he even wants Cody.
Yeah.
No, you idiots. He's trolling you.
Yeah.
He doesn't
He's
care
a baby
about
face
Cody.
now.
Yeah. Oh, he's the whoa movement.
Yeah.
All right, let's move on to Raw. You ready?
Oh, yes.
Because we already talked about Rock and Roman. Check out that episode. It's on already posted.
Most recent episode.
All right. Yes, it is. All right. 60 seconds or less. Raw review. Let's go. The show opens with Seth Rollins. He clowns Roman, says he gets a pop, and the crowd chants, "We want Cody," and Rocky sucks. Cody is out there now, and Seth Rollins says that they should still wrestle at WrestleMania. Drew interrupts, wearing probably the best shirt I've ever seen, and cuts a fire promo. Then they all hit each other. DIY wins a 4-way to challenge Dunn and Pete for the right to face the Judgment Day. Becky Lynch defeats Shayna Baszler. She advances to the chamber. Liv Morgan's fine ass says she'll qualify next week. Drew gets fined and is told never to wear that shirt again, although now it's on shop.wwe.com. Get yours. I am ordering mine. Now I lost my place. Here we are. We will get Nia Jax and Rhea Ripley at the chamber. That's big news. Ivar and Valhalla defeats Dupree and Tozawa. Who cares? The JD is backstage, and here is R-Truth again. Womp womp.
Yeah.
The Miz defeats JD McDonough again. Out comes Imperium to celebrate Gunther. 600 days as the IC heavyweight champ. Jey Uso interrupts, and they go back and forth with the insults, and they brawl and the New Day ends up helping out Jey Uso. The Kabuki Warriors defend against Chance and Carter. Sami Zayn has a sit-down interview, and he thinks he'll be champ soon. Cody Rhodes defeats Nakamura yet again, but this time in a bull rope match. Drew McIntyre runs out after and jumps Rhodes to close the show, and that's the Raw 60 seconds or less recap. Lot to dissect. Where do you want to start, bro?
Well, I guess we can talk about I don't want to talk too much about Cody, but I feel like we have to talk about the opening segment with Seth Rollins.
The hijack?
Yeah, the hijack of Monday Night Raw from the hashtag We Want Cody crowd and the Rocky sucks. And, for all the people who swear up and down that Dom Dom's heel heat was piped in, now all of a sudden, now it was loud, but they piped it in. They muted us. Now they're not piping it in. You would think that they would want that heat. So I don't know. I'm not gonna. If people were there and they saw it and they witnessed it, I'm not gonna argue with them. I'm just telling you, across the TV, it didn't. The heel heat on NXT for Carmelo Hayes was so much louder than any of the chants that I could hear for Cody Rhodes and any of the Rocky sucks chants.
Here's the thing. Okay, not many people said there was all that stuff going. There's a very few with 17,000 in that stadium. Secondly, I've seen like 2 TikTok videos where people posted it and they're literally showing the crowd and none of them are reacting or moving, but the Rocky sucks chant is going on. Like, this happened during the match. I'm like, you're showing the people. No one's even saying anything. Stop. Yeah. We don't care. They chanted Rocky sucks. They chanted We Want Cody. They did it for a matter of 2 minutes and they moved on with their lives. Congratulations. This is not like a competition. Nobody cares. The movement's happening or not. If you're making a difference, you're not. Get over it. And the WWE bought into it, handed out signs. Don't listen to Sean Ross Sapp, who's like, those signs were brought by a fan. A fan brought in 75,000. We Want Cody signs and was handing them out outside, and everybody was okay with it. Sean Ross Sapp. He's the flipping worst. Anyway,
all of them are. Yeah.
Continue on with your.
Yeah. So Cody.
How'd you like the segment? Are you going to go to Cody? Well, okay.
Yeah, I didn't care for the opening segment. I love Drew. Drew was fantastic. Drew was the highlight of that segment. But and I get they're playing into the press conference, and I love the Drew. Speaking of trolls with Logan Paul, Drew is doing another great job. He's like a fantastic troll. But is right when Cody was about to talk, Drew McIntyre comes out. He looked so much better with the jeans and the leather jacket. He's not carrying the sword around. He looked a lot more intimidating. And he was kind of saying, you need to, he was like, I laid everything out for you guys. You need to finish the story. He's like talking to Cody, and he's like, I took CM Punk out for you. You guys should be thanking me because, and so it was all of that was great. I just didn't care for I don't know. I kind of felt like we needed to hear from Cody Rhodes that like something like, Seth, I haven't made my decision yet. We'll find out on Thursday, but stay tuned or something. But he just kind of, Drew just kind of interrupted him, and then Drew headbutted him, or he headbutted Seth, and then Cody just stood up for Seth, and then the segment just kind of randomly, abruptly ended. It felt like it was just kind of like okay, that's it. And then it went to commercial. So I thought it started off slow, but then when Drew McIntyre came out and continued his trolling, man, that was he did great, but the rest of the segment was kind of flat.
The fact that he was like, you need to finish your story. You need to, we want Cody.
Go to SmackDown, fight Roman Reigns.
And once again, people with like all this, like, did you see Cody's emotion when The Rock whispered in his ear? And did you see Cody's distraught face?
Yeah.
Cody, let me whisper. But here's the thing. Yeah, idiots. What do you see? But anyway, but that's the whole like, yeah, Cody's a damn good actor, and he's always been good at facial expressions. Look at him. Look at him when Drew was doing it. You can see like the dude, I know you're freaking being sarcastic look on his face. It's pure genius. I liked it. I think they didn't have to do that because they just wanted to address it because they're trying to get to the press conference. So
I get that.
They didn't want to say anything. By
But
having Drew come was brilliant, and that made him even bigger. And having him end by beating up Seth was another way to troll the fans of, what are we going to do? What are we going to do? Don't forget through all this like hashtag woe movement that Seth interrupted last Monday and challenged him. Then Cody came out, said he didn't want to face Roman at Mania for that title, but because somebody else was coming in, never announced anything. Rock and Roman never talked. That's all we know. That's all we know from this. Literally nothing has been announced, talked about, said. No one's decided anything. This is what I love about it. So there is no movement or changing. This is how it's always been. Everything has led up. It's been perfect. Everything is just falling into place. So I'm so excited for tonight. But yeah, but I did like this, and it was good stuff. I mean, Becky Shayna was a waste of my time. Ivar was a waste of my time. Can we just talk about, well, should we go to Gunther, or do we even want to talk about R-Truth? I feel like a broken record about this. Like,
let's go to Gunther.
Obviously, we're getting R-Truth and Miz against the Judgment Day at Mania, and R-Truth and Miz are going to win. We can just be done with that, right? Okay, so let's talk about Gunther. Okay, so basically he comes out, does a promo. Like I said, Jay comes out, interrupts, new day, who cares? All right, so what do you want? What do you want to talk about? We're getting Gunther Jay. Are we getting it at Chamber? Are we getting it at Mania? If we get it, are we having a new champion? Let's hear it. And is it deserved? Should Jay be that guy?
Well, not with the Rock at the TKO board. but knowing the Rock, he's going to make all of his family champions. Roman's going to keep that belt. And, Nia Jax.
Yep. It's the only reason why the Usos are even popular to begin with. It's because of The Rock. He's been pushing it for years.
Yeah. But okay, I don't think it's going to happen at Chamber, and because there's a report, and I don't know if this is all true. Here I am saying stop reading the dirt sheets, and then I'm reading the freaking dirt sheets. But
you love the dirt sheets.
There's people out there that say that Gunther, because he's applied for United States citizenship, you can't leave the country at all during that time, and so. It's one of those. That's why he can't. That's why he doesn't go to Crown Jewel. That's why he didn't.
Yeah, he hasn't done it. Okay.
Yeah, I think the last time he went somewhere was Saudi Arabia for Night of Champions. Maybe he did Money. It was Money in the Bank against Drew McIntyre. But that was in London. But that's where he lived. But now he's applying for U.S. citizenship, and now he can't leave the country for a certain period of time. So I don't think it's going to happen at Chamber. I don't see this going all the way to WrestleMania. I don't really know what they're planning on doing because the reports were that it was going to be Gunther Brock, but obviously Brock's not in the picture anymore. So, I see this happening on like a random episode of Monday Night Raw. maybe on the week of Big Business or whatever that AEW show's called, maybe that's when they'll do this or something to try to get some momentum going. But I don't think it's going to happen at Mania, and I don't think it's going to happen at Chambers. So I think it's going to happen on a random episode of Monday Night Raw, and I don't think Jay's going to win.
All right. I'm not going to go against that because Mania is 8 weeks away. Unlike these Cody Crybabies don't understand is that this is long.
Still have a pay-per-view between now and then.
Away.
Yeah.
I think Jay could be that guy. They're trying to push Jay. I still think we get Jay and Jimmy at WrestleMania, but that doesn't mean you can't have a match, have Gunther win, and then have Jay win it later on.
Yeah, that's my other thing too. I think, like you said, I think they want Jimmy and Jay at Mania. So I think Jay's going to be close to beating Gunther, and Jimmy's going to cost him.
Then who beats Gunther? Who faces Gunther at WrestleMania, win or lose? Don't say Braun Breaker. Get out of my face with that. Who's facing Gunther?
I don't know. I want Chad Gable. And we'll get into that later.
But I didn't even know he had a job anymore.
Yeah. Don't tell me about it. But I don't know. Or I could see them doing. I really don't know.
That's the thing. I'm telling you, unless they're going to throw a Sami Zayn in there, which I don't see him. I think he'll get thrown into the world title picture. I don't know. Like, who are we going to return as someone? Are we going to? It's a hard sell. It's a hard, unless they go with my original idea I had a long time ago, John Cena winning the title he's never won. I mean, if you're going to have anyone, wait, never mind. You can't have a part-timer wrestle a champion. This is ludicrous, I tell you. But if it's John Cena, they'll be all for it. John Cena deserves that. He's never won Cena
because he's never buried a talent. That was the other thing.
He's never buried a talent.
The Rock comes back and takes the main event spot, but John Cena comes back because he loves it, and he always puts everybody over.
Yeah. Come on now. Hey, IWC, we all love Santy. Don't listen to his BS. Santy's so blinded by John Cena. Don't fall for that crap. He tried to do that on our podcast. That homeboy's buried so many people. He's a funeral home barrier person. Yeah. There you go. We might as well call him the Undertaker. But anyway, Gunther cut a great promo. We end with Drew attacking Cody again. Anything with that in the main event before we move on to NXT? Is there anything vibing on that? Do you think that means anything, or is it like I'm saying, is it just a tease to throw people off?
We'll find out on the press conference, but I do think I think it's going to be a fatal four-way at WrestleMania. I think it's going to be Sami versus Seth, Sami Zayn versus Seth Rollins versus Drew McIntyre versus Cody Rhodes for the World Heavyweight Championship. And that way, it's not technically Cody and Seth 4. And it's not that, and Seth doesn't have to take a 4th straight loss to Cody Rhodes. He doesn't even have to take a pinfall. He could tweak his knee, or storyline wise, of course, tweak his knee in the match, and then Drew McIntyre targets his knee or something, and then that's who takes him out.
If that happens, then we're getting 100% Damian Priest cash in. I'm going with it.
Yeah, I could see that. And I have an answer to your question about Gunther. Who faces Gunther at Mania? Bring back Sheamus. Let's get Sheamus versus Gunther. Let's do that rematch of that classic match they had at Clash at the Castle, because Sheamus is
match of the year.
That's the only title he hasn't won, and he'll be a Grand Slam champion. So let's make that happen.
I'm for it. Gunther can lose it now. We can move him on. Yeah. We can move him on. All right, let's get into NXT, because this was actually a jam-packed show too. Let's get into it. NXT 60-second or less recap. Here we go. The show opens with Carmelo Hayes, who gets booed non-stop, amongst other things, until he says, "Not yet," and walks out. The Wolf Dogs brag about winning the Dusty Classic. Axiom and Frazier defeat Blade and Enough, I think is what his name is. I always mess it up. Braun and Corbin jump them after the match. They challenge the D'Angelo family for next week. Dragunov comes out for a promo when Dijak interrupts and literally punches him in the mouth. I'm pretty sure it was literally. I don't think he pulled that one. Hale and Jane are happy about the Chase U calendar sales. They are sold out. I want to know if they were actually ever on shop.wwe.com or not, because they're already sold out. Don't buy that. Let's see here. We got Riley Osborne wants a piece of Hale. Lexus King defeats Riley. Carmelo Hayes comes out yet again to loud boos, and he says Trick wanted his spot, and he wasn't down with that. Trick's music hits, but no Trick. he's in the hospital and Carmelo has a laugh in front of all of us. He's the one who attacked Trick Williams all along. Boom, boom, boom. Riley was upset Hale wasn't at his match. Roxanne Perez defeats Lola Vice. Metaphor defeat Henley and Sinclair. And it's main event time where Dragunov defeats Dijak for some reason. Carmelo Hayes jumps Dragunov after the match for some reason to close out the show while he holds the belt. And that's the NXT 60-second or less recap. What'd you think? You just want to talk about Carmelo Hayes, the whole
let's
Carmelo Hayes, all of it.
Yeah, it was all of it. It's the week of trolls in the WWE. You have Logan Paul, you have Drew McIntyre, and now you have the newly established heel in Carmelo Hayes after his brutal assault on Trick Williams. That opening segment where he came out and they're booing him and they're yelling like "F you, Mello," and to the point where apparently a producer, like during the commercial break, they had to tell the crowd to stop because I don't know if USA threatened to pull the show off the air because of the amount of F words that they had to censor or something, but they had to tell them
a lot
to
of
stop.
buttons they hit.
Yeah. I mean, but that was pure general heat that he was getting too, and it was great. But yeah, and then he does the not yet, and then he leaves without saying a word. That was all great. His promo that he cut. Are you really a heel in the WWE if you don't get one of those, spotlight promos after you do something so hilarious?
Thanks a lot, Batista.
Yeah, Batista did it.
Spotlight
Eddie Guerrero
on me.
did it.
He was I thought Batista was the first to do that, like spotlight.
I think
on me.
Yeah. He's one of them. I know Batista. I know Eddie Guerrero did it at one point. I know Carmelo Hayes just did it. Yeah, there's Edge did it after he turned heel when he beat up AJ Styles. He had that dark promo. So yeah, but everything Carmelo Hayes said was great. I mean, the man, he's way better as a heel than a babyface. He was getting a little, not that he was not cheesy as a babyface, but just more like, I'm here to do this for the people. And whereas he kind of, Mellow don't miss. That's more of a heel tactic than a babyface gimmick, because he was missing a lot. And everything he did was great, and I'm excited. I love even the trolling again, going back to that, playing Trick Williams's music and him acting so shocked, like and the pop that Trick got when that music hit. I mean, the fans loved it, but even then he was like, he then just started laughing. He was like, I can't with y'all are too easy. It was just so fantastic. All of it was great. I love heel Carmelo.
They didn't show it. I don't know why they didn't say this, but he had like a backstage segment that was on TikTok or WWE or whatever. Where he said, "Yeah, I whooped that Trick," and I was like, "That is he needs a shirt that says I whooped that Trick." That is a good damn line. This was brilliant. I got people on TikTok telling me, it was only loud because it's in a small arena. But when AEW is in small arenas, I can hear crickets. And when blah, blah, because 15,000 people in a bigger arena is a lot quieter than 3,000 people in a smaller arena. It's called physics. Don't you know that? And I had a guy literally tell me, like, 2 people in a room are a lot louder than 10 people outside. Well, yeah, these fools weren't outside, dude. They're 2 stadiums. They're filling up the same capacity of the size of the stadium, you flipping moron. No, those boos were in flipping insane. The WWE events are mic'd up. These morons know that, right? They're mic'd all over the place. They hear all the reactions. Don't act like it's like I don't know, stupidity. We're straight we are now in the stupid era. That's all I have to say. We are legit in the stupid era. But with that said, this was straight. I was shocked. I'm going to say I was shocked by the response Carmelo Hayes got. I was straight shocked. I did not think, I thought this turn was like overdue, that it was going on too long. Obviously, the GOAT knows more than I do, because holy cow, I don't think anybody would have expected a reaction like that. And yes, I've seen people say like, well, like the NXT audience is basically paid. Like, I get that. I see that. Like, right, there are only so many people. It's usually the same people. You always see the same guy in the background. I get that. But still, that was insane. The fact that they were chanting F you and all that stuff and had to get told to stop, and the boos at the end and everything else. This was good stuff. This whole episode, we didn't have to talk about anything else. This whole episode was dedicated to Hayes and that turn. And we have people talking about like this should be a WrestleMania match, let alone a stand and deliver match. That's how big this feels. And in the end, Trick Williams is about to be a flipping star. And Carmelo Hayes is about to be the biggest heel in the WWE. This is a life-changing moment for both of these guys. So bravo.
And it's
This
well
was good
deserved.
stuff.
Yeah.
I agree.
And I think, I honestly think he got that reaction because of not so much that he turned on Trick, but how he turned on Trick. You know, it's one thing you hit him with the chair and then that's it. But he went all in. He went in on that knee. He kept assaulting that, you know, hitting that knee with the chair. He was just going at it. He took him out at the knee when he first made the attack. So I think that and he wouldn't stop. He kept going and going and going and going. I think that helped him get this negative reaction. And then he just walked out without giving a crap. So if he had just low blowed him and something, I don't think he would have gotten the reaction. But the way he did that assault.
Yeah.
Great to see.
And I like the touch of him wanting Dragunov as well. So now it's they both want the belt. You were trying to take my spot. I'm better than you. You were supposed to be North American champion, but you can only do it for 2 days. Basically saying he a chump and mess up the plans because he sucks. So
yeah.
I like it all. I like where this is going.
Yeah, and I think they have Roadblock before Stand and Deliver. It's a Tuesday night. So obviously we're going to get Carmelo Hayes against Dragunov, and that's when I think Trick Williams will make his return, cost him the match, and then set him up for. I do agree though. I could see this match going on at WrestleMania. I think it was.
It needs a main event Stand and Deliver.
I agree. I do agree. It does
on title main event.
I do agree. It needs to stay on Stand and Deliver, but I could see it being at Mania too.
Yeah, Mania. I mean,
that's how big they are.
It is going to be 20 hours long. So
yeah, that's true.
All right. Well, that was our weekly WWE recap. A lot of stuff going on, exciting things. We're going to be back tomorrow with our AEW recap, and I promise you it'll be a lot nicer. With some good things going on in AEW this
AEW
week.
was pretty solid.
It was solid. It was